Welcome to this next episode of YouTube, where on Sunday, May 5th, you may be celebrating Cinco de Mayo. Here, we'll be celebrating Grizzer's birthday. And Grizzer, again, was born in 2004. He was a litter mate to Maya, and he was 1 week older than Nisa, and Nisa was the black pup who Grizzer is standing over in this video. And he was, again, a new addition to the exhibit pack in 2004, joining Shadow Malik, who were the only two members of the exhibit pack in 2004. So the video here shows, again, very social behavior between the pups, but also very critical behavior in that they are developing skills that they later use in life. So things like dominance and submission and inhibited bite and foreleg stabs and all of those critical ethogram codes that we observe in an existing adult pack are formed when the pups are young. And then here comes Maya, showing a T1 tail and being a little bit jaw sparring with Grizzer. At the time in 2004, we did use collars on the pups as we were transporting them in and out of the building, something that we discontinued later on in the recent exhibits. But here you're seeing Shadow showing these newest members of the exhibit pack what it means to be a member of an exhibit pack with a dominant hierarchy. Shadow's doing some growling and domination over all three pups. Actually, Grizzer is submissively rolling and pawing, and Maya is also food bagging there. And Nisa is showing a little bit less willingness to submit, very reminiscent of our experience with Luna coming into the exhibit. So again, Grizzer was in the exhibit at the time when we had the pond was created, so there was a good stimulus from them when they came into the exhibit. And he matured to be a pretty formidable adult. And one of the reasons why Grizzer is alone right now is he does have a little bit of a predatory drive. And in this clip, he's actually stalking towards Malik. So that's one of the reasons why he's by himself. He has some issues yet where he would still show some dominance and some aggression towards Malik. So again, we always treasure our wolves on a daily basis, but it's always special on their anniversary or their birthdays to be able to really look back at where we've come and the contribution all of these wolves have made towards wolf education, and Grizzer is a very, very important part of that. But we also have Shadow Malik, who are turning 13 years of age on May 8th, so we thought we'd share the limelight here with Grizzer on this day. And these are video clips of the pups when they first came to our exhibit on June 30th, 2000. Now, Shadow Malik were raised with one of our board members in the city, so they had not really spent the formidable bottle feeding time here with us in Ely. They came to us a little bit older, well socialized, but a little bit older, so it was always kind of a lot of work for us to get them to know us as staff, as the primary caretakers here in Ely. So we spent a lot of time with them outdoors. They were certainly alert, and they were very keyed into the sights and sounds of an exhibit. So we spent a lot of time from June 30th until they met the exhibit pack in August to be what I consider to be a strong social bond that continues today, especially with Shadow, probably one of the strongest social greeters that we work with right now. So this is actually Shadow, and again, we used collars at that time as well. We were taking the pups in and out of the building for programs. We have not used collars in the last two sets of wolf pups, primarily because of the way we've made some changes to logistics of where the pups come in and out. We don't need them as much. So Shadow and Malik have always been brothers. They've always gotten along. Not a lot of strife between the two individuals, and here you're seeing what we call a duet howl, meaning when they were alone together in the exhibit pack before the 2004 pups joined them, they were social. They were together. They spent a lot of time together, and obviously if we fast forward now to retirement, you see the same thing. And this is a classic, what we call the invite chase behavior between these two, where they are doing a little bit of a play bow, and they're still socially engaged, but a little bit of dominance tension, but one is inviting the other to chase, and neither one of them wants to really be the focus of being chased by the other wolf. So they play bow, and they do the beginning part of the invite chase, but they don't do the chase part. And maybe that's because they're 13, but they are still compatible. And as I speak, it's raining outside, and they're both sleeping in the den together. And this is, like I said, a relationship that has been continued for the last 13 years. These two have been together, and they have good social contact with each other, and even though they may have their moments where they don't get along, they are brothers, and they have a very strong bond, and they're doing real well together in retirement. So with that, we again want to, like say, just honor the time that they have given to us in this exhibit and to wolf education. Being 13 is one of those critical times. You know, we see mortalities come as early as 13 here, and certainly we will be watching them closely for any declines. And for the rest of the video, we thought we'd show you some classic wolf behavior. This is called a stiff leg jump. And a stiff leg jump is being done by Aiden here. You may recognize this as a predatory behavior when they're in the tall grass and they're trying to scare up rodents. Fox and coyotes and wolves all do this behavior. On the ice, again, I'm not sure if it's predatory behavior or if it's just the stimulus of the sound, but he's trying to break the ice there. And obviously we're a little bit beyond the ice. This was taken about 2 weeks ago when we still had some cold weather and we had ice in the pond. But we thought we'd share it. It's really good footage from one of the, like say, core wolf behaviors that we do see here. Eventually they do kind of break through the pond, and Bolts is kind of watching in the background there. He's not really getting involved. Bolts had a little bit of a traumatic experience when Denali broke through the ice and Bolts fell in. So Bolts is going to stay in the back a little bit and kind of a little bit more leery on the ice since that incident. And you can see the size difference here. Bolts being a young pup on the left, Aiden being a full-fledged 5-year-old adult. Aiden is filled in quite a bit more. That Bolts is going to get that in the upcoming year here, but height-wise, body size, he's definitely full size. Just needs to fill out a little bit more, which will be coming in the upcoming years. As I said, the ice melts throughout the day, freezes at night, leaves some pretty big chunks, and this is Bolts. Ice chunks are one of those favorite things for them to do. He's pulling a chunk out of the ice here, and icicles come off the roof line, and they get a lot of opportunity to chew ice and lick it. And you know, it's this water here is not water that we put in the pond. This is melt water, so it might be a little bit maybe a little bit of bloody snow, so it, you know, it may have some flavor to it if you like flavored ice cubes. This is something that's good for the wolves. And you can see Denali kind of cautiously pawing in the ice, and like I said, he's already fallen in a couple times. And then Luna, she's not too worried about it. She wants to get an icicle. She goes right in, and you can see it's still snowing here. Waters can't be more than 35 degrees. It's right above freezing. I do kind of notice a little hesitation putting her back legs in there. Again, we know we obviously probably see some joint stiffness, and that plate can't feel very good standing in water, but that doesn't stop Luna from going in and grabbing one of the big chunks and being able to back her way out of there and take it with her. So again, there was a good clip of the stimulus that's created throughout every season, but specifically the spring melt. And as we finish here, again, just more footage of that cautious behavior of Bolts here in the front, and Luna having no inhibitions about going right in the water. So we know that given how she's moving, given how she's active, and given the fact that she can stand in water that's barely above freezing, she can't have too many issues with joint mobilities, or we wouldn't see these kind of behaviors from her. And then lo and behold, within a week, sun came out, temperatures warmed to 60s, and we're back into spring. So that's what we're kind of progressing right now, even though we've had a few miscellaneous snow, freezing rain days. We're in the spring melt, and we're seeing that the ground is thawing, and that means that wolves are going to be digging and caching, and maybe things that they cached last winter are going to come up out of the snow. And that's it for YouTube this week, and thanks again for all of you who have donated to the Wolf Care Fund in honor of Grizzer, Shadow, Malik, Aiden, Denali, Luna, and Bolts. Thanks for watching.